of a sore holding this. The lactic acid build up in my arms holding this phone is just incredible. So Tommy Robinson may be hit with another charge while in jail in the two-tier Keir policing situation that Keir Starmer, the commie, whose political adversaries are allowed to be preferentially discriminated against, and the thought police that we've got, the Stasi police that we've got just now, actually wanting to curb individuals' freedom of speech, which totally communist ideology there, that Keir Starmer does not believe in freedom of speech. And we've now got them not actually investigating crimes but investigating thought police. So apparently Tommy Robinson might be up in another charge. They're obviously just trying to screw him about. The Guerilla TV were one of the first people to support him when he was getting persecuted the last time by the state. And we phoned the Home Office to make sure he wasn't being threatened in jail. But we're also down in the protest down here to cover what was actually happening to him. And he's now been hit with something that he's allegedly written on Twitter with regards to the riots. Now, I don't believe that he probably said anything that would have encouraged the riots. I think he actually probably did the opposite. But I don't know what the tweet was. I haven't seen it yet. But he might be charged while in jail. So they're obviously just trying to wear him down by putting more and more charges against him. And this is in Keir's Stasi Britain, where the police are now, the thought police, investigating individuals for what they say and not what they do. Violence isn't violence, but people not agreeing with you is violence. That's obviously their raison d'etre. The left wings cannot handle free debate. I invite left people. Anybody can come on the Guerilla TV channel. I've already invited wee Georgie Porgy Galloway. He shat it. I invited Fat Alex Salmond, and he didn't come on as well. So that's I invite individuals onto the Guerilla TV from the left as well, and nobody they do not come on. I have to go out my way to try and speak to them, because what they do is talk in a wee echo chamber, and they do not want to discuss issues that they know that they can't justify with me, because obviously I'll take them to task. So obviously Tommy Robinson is the personification of the working class in the UK, and he has got a large amount of support from working men and women. Also, he's got a large support from Afro Brits who either are from the Caribbean, who have been brought up here. And there was a guy talking about to people who are, I don't want to use the word black, but I know that's a common parlance, but Afro Brits, whether they're Caribbean or from Africa, that are actually supporting Tommy. And because they've seen past him getting called a racist as well. And they are basically not buying into he's a racist argument. So he is now going to be hit with another charge potentially of inciting a riot from whatever this tweet is, but he's not the person who's murdered 4 people. He's sort of covered it up. And he's not addressing the underlying issues, because he's getting bought off by Lord Ali for the tune of £100,000 of goods, which I don't see how it's not a bribe, that he's prepared to actually be bought off by bribes, basically, that are given to him, while at the same time the persecution of Tommy Robinson and Tommy Robinson, as I said, is a personification of other people who are now in jail, where criminals have been let out by the criminal-loving, bribe-producing two-tier Keir. And it's just absolutely staggering that we have now got to a stage in the UK that the wokey wefter Prime Minister, the alleged homosexual, bribe-inducing two-tier Keir, is basically throwing the book at them, and they're trying to throw the book at X as well, because they don't like free speech, because they can't debate on the issues. That's why they don't want to come on and debate me on the issues. So I don't know if and usually sentences would run concurrently, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're trying to give him a larger sentence, and I certainly wouldn't be pleading guilty to it. I think he made a mistake pleading guilty to that last charge, but I would have fought it. But yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible. That's what these people are doing. These people are modern day, they're communists. Peter Hitchens said that Keir Starmer was a communist. The fact that he was meant to be Tony Blair in disguise. Tony Blair's just a shill for the globalists as well. Gordon Brown, they're all just shills for the WEF. And they're now they've locked up tons of people down in England for speech. They've locked up more people for reposting tweets than they have actually got from grooming gangs or things like that. Actual criminals. They don't want to investigate crime. They want to thought police. That it's now a thought police. They tried to arrest Clarkson as well for the fact that he's following the communist playbook for actually trying to disrupt the farming community in the UK by trying to snatch land through the use of inheritance tax so that he can redistribute it, which is right out of every communist government since day dot. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. And that's why the Labour Party, Anna Sauer, although he had a good Westminster election, is now going to be decimated in Scotland. He's now going to be decimated in Scotland. The Labour Party looked like they were going to win at the Scottish election. Now they're not going to win. They're not going to win the election, and the SNP are going to potentially win by default because there's not an alternative for people to vote for just now in the Scottish diaspora, or the Scottish political diaspora. Although I would suggest that people should start looking, especially for the second vote, for other smaller parties and seeing if some of the other smaller parties actually fit what they actually want to do, or what their policies are actually coincide with what you believe in. So Tommy might have an extended period in jail. He's been very brave in the fact he's taking all this on the chin. If you haven't seen, I think it was silenced. If you haven't seen, I'll post it on X, on Twitter, and you can have a look at his documentary that he's done. I think he's done 6 documentaries. We were there in Telford for the first one about the coercion of the police with Muslim rape gangs, and the fact that these the police are not investigating the Muslim rape gangs properly, but they are prepared to lock up British patriots for hurty words or just standing near protests. I mean, you couldn't actually write it. Absolutely couldn't write it. Two-tier Keir. Dear.